Second round. I know you guys made it through like an hour and a half already, but
Is this all gonna be one video?
Yep.
Oh God.
It's a long
Why would
video.
no? Make it two. Oh God. I would say make it two,
Hey.
but
That's how we do it. So, Martin is going to have the 30-second pick. I'm going to have 30, 33, and then we're going to go like that. So, yeah, second round. Probably a couple guys you expected to be in the first that weren't in the first.
Some of them won't even go in the second.
Someone won't even go in the second. If you've seen the mocks before, you probably know who's not going to go in the second because we're not high on them. Peter Skoronsky. Anyway.
Trenton Simpson. All right, 30-second pick, Steelers on the clock. I'm going to make every Steelers fan's wet dream a reality here, and I'm going to take Joey Porter Jr. Usually they do it at 17, but we're not as big fans of Porter over here, but I do think he's still a good player. Steelers, the issue here is the Steelers like their match zone coverages, and don't put them in zone. Just please don't do it. But if they're just going to play man, which I would assume that's what they're going to do with them signing Pat Pete, and the Steelers play multiple coverages, they're going to play man. They're also probably going to play zone. But if you're just sticking in man, there's not too many guys that can do it better than Joey Porter. He's like 6'3". He's got super long arms. He's very big. Great press guy at the line. And he's really good in man coverage. He'll stay hip to hip with you. He can play bail. He can turn and run. He can do all the press man stuff very well. It's just when you leave press man, that's where he falls apart. So if the Steelers just want to stick him there, I think that's a good pick.
Okay, at 33, the Houston Texans. I think previously we took Will Levis and Cam Smith for you. So you're going to plug in a great receiver here, or not great.
Great is a stretch.
He's just a good receiver. We're taking Quentin Johnston. He's kind of fallen out of a lot of people's first rounds lately. I mean, you saw everyone was putting him in at 12, 3 months ago, and now he's not even getting an invite to Kansas City because they are scared that they're going to have an awkward TV moment.
Yeah.
So, this is where I think he'll go end of the first, top of the second. But listen, 42-inch vert. He kind of has a limited route tree. He runs just a lot of post fades. For a guy that is 6'4", he kind of sucks at contested catches.
He's terrible
He
at contested
has
catches.
Chase Claypool syndrome, which is he doesn't use his size to go up and get the ball.
Or his hands.
He's like JSN, where he's a body catcher.
Yeah, but JSN can actually catch.
But, he has huge potential. If they teach him how to go up and get a football, he has that, Des Bryant.
The fact that you have to teach him that is so sad, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not even roasting Quentin Johnston there. Just the fact that you have to teach a 6'4" receiver how to do jump balls is kind of depressing.
He's a phenomenal body control, and he has a huge catch radius. Overall, I think he has the potential to be the best receiver in the class, but he's just got to put it all together. And, for the Texans, listen, any receiver is better than what you got right now. Let's be honest here. I think matching Quentin Johnston up with Will Levis is a very good strategy in this simulated world that we're in, where Will Levis goes number 2. But yeah, big jump ball ability, not completely there yet, but big body, tough to bring down. I think he is
absolutely ridiculous in the open field. That's
he's good for the Texans here. I think it's a good pick, fill in that wide receiver 1 spot.
34th pick, got the Cardinals on the clock. And I watched this dude after we filmed the first round. I would have taken him at like early 20s, but he's here now, and it's Keanu Benton from Wisconsin. This, D-tackle 3 easy. He's unbelievable. As just a penetrating 3 technique, even a nose. You could put him at 5 if you want to. Just like any form of a Cam Hayward role. I'm not comparing him to Cam Hayward. I'm just saying like that type of role where he just moves around everywhere on the D-line. He'll be awesome there. He was unreal at the Senior Bowl. That's where I first learned his name. But he mostly played nose in college, which was kind of a waste. I mean, he's good enough against the run to play nose. He's 3'15". He's a big boy. He's great against the run. He can stack and shed. He can anchor, all that stuff. But as a pass rusher, he's really good. He has great hands. I mean, he can move too. He's got twitch. Keanu Benton is a really good pass rusher and also an excellent run defender who knows how to use his hands and is a good athlete. I mean, you can't really miss on this guy, in my opinion. And the Cardinals, you're building up your D-line here with Will Anderson and Keanu Benton, and I think that's how you start your rebuild.
It's a damn good D-line.
Yeah.
Also,
and that's how you start a rebuild to me. It's just
yes,
by building a
you
good
guys
D-line.
got to really.
So,
I think they got to tear it all down.
oh yeah, for sure. I mean, you have to keep Kyler, but like.
But what
and
if,
they got
what if you have number one next year with Caleb Williams?
I'm trading Kyler. Dude.
Exactly.
Yeah.
35, the Indianapolis Colts took Anthony Richardson earlier in the mock. So here, I think you could really plug and play a lot of players here, but I think, honestly, best player available, I think, is the way to go to build this team. I'm taking B.J. Ojulari. I think he's the most technically sound edge. Like, technical, just like...
He's very, like, all right.
Just, I can put you out there, and I don't got to worry about you sucking. I think it's B.J. Ojulari.
Before you go into the analysis, because there's a lot, he's a really good player. Literally just picture Azeez Ojulari and just copy and paste him. They're the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
Like, they're both really good speed rushers that are super technically sound.
Exactly.
They're literally the same thing. So just,
yeah.
if anyone watched Azeez Ojulari, just, it's the same thing.
It's a carbon copy.
Yeah.
So he has a quick, good cross chop. He sets an edge hard. He's very disciplined. Has legit bend, which is a huge thing because look at Thibodeau last year. I think that was the main concern was his ankle bend, and he fell. He cooked Broderick Jones, which is why he fell so far on the tackle rankings. Yeah. BJ doesn't have ideal power, but he's pretty much a pure speed rusher. Very good, and he's very good at it. Listen, like, a lot of things. Most of these guys, they're good at one thing. Why try to take them out of their comfort zone, put them where they're good at? Has a good spin move, is a really good athlete, doesn't have much power. You can't rely on a counter to get inside. But he's obviously a good leader because if you wear 18 at LSU, which is the number he wears.
That's a sacred number.
That's a sacred number there. And he drops into coverage a good bit, which is kind of, it's a little weird because I saw the Northwestern end drop into coverage quite a bit too.
Yeah. No, I mean, and he was playing, and we'll get to him, but he plays inside too. But now with Ojulari though, I mean, we talked about a really good player, but yeah, that 18 at LSU, you are the leader of the locker room. You are that dude on campus. So, you know, we don't know these guys, so we try not to go into the character too much. But
unless there's an actual story that has weight to it, like Jalen Carter.
Or if you're Andre Carter and you were the grit master.
Keyshawn Boutte, Jalen Carter, legit character issues that have been
proven. Yeah.
Micah Parsons.
Yes.
All of them. One last thing, he also is very good at batting hands away. So.
All right, 36, you got the Rams on the clock. To me, this is another best player available situation because their team just isn't good is the best way I can put it.
Guys, Cooper Kupp's next to go.
Oh, no. Aaron Donald, future Patriot. Let's get it.
Yep.
And I'm drafting a D-tackle, not to replace Aaron Donald, but we're going to play them next to each other. I'm taking Mazi Smith from Michigan. This is another dude, actually. We were just talking about character concerns earlier. They're not crazy documented. He didn't, like, possibly kill anyone, but he does own an illegal firearm.
Yeah, everybody does that.
And I mean, the other one was, like, speeding on the highway, and I read that, and I was like, how is that a character concern?
Oh, no.
Yeah, no, I know. Not in my locker room!
Not on my team.
Not on my football team. All right, but actual notes on Mazi Smith. I don't know. I didn't write down a height apparently, but he's probably like 6'2", I would say. He's 337. He's a big boy nose tackle on first and second down. You can put him at 3-tech on third down, in my opinion. He's got great power. He has really good hands, and he's very good at anchoring down against the run and stacking and shedding, which is what you want from your nose tackle. He was number 1 on Bruce Feldman's Freaks list, which is exactly what it sounds like. It just ranks all of the nuts athletes. And you saw that at the combine. This dude is a legit athlete. He's got a good long arm stab. He's got a great motor. He's just your classic nose tackle that clogs up the run, but he's athletic enough to move down the line to shut down outside zone. And you can also put him at 3-tech on third down and tell him to go win as a pass rusher, which he can do with his very good hands and great power. So I'm a big fan of Mozzie Smith. I think he's like 28 on my board, so he's a first-round caliber player in my opinion, and he's here at 36, so I'll take him.
Okay, at 37, you have the Seattle Seahawks, who earlier in this mock took Zay Flowers and Jalen Carter. Here, I'm taking a cornerback, just recently watched, DJ Turner. He ran a 4.26 at the Combine. He's insanely fast. He has the best catch-up speed in the draft. I saw him run down Penn State's quarterback. I think his name was like Sean Tucker or something like that.
Sean Clifford.
Sean Clifford's. Yeah, he ran him down from like 40 yards out. He's the fastest guy in the draft. I'm pretty sure he was the fastest runner, 4.26. He's very good in press coverage, great in man. His height does allow guys to make catches over him or
like
around
5'9"?
him. He's like 5'11".
Oh, that's
6 foot.
Yeah, never mind.
So yeah, his height does allow guys to make catches. I'm pretty sure he got caught on once in the 2 games I watched, so pretty good. By caught on, I mean like actually beat in, not a 5-yard curl. Loves to blow up screen plays. Like I'll see him like head hunting missile, but when it comes in the run game, he's not anywhere near it. If he sees a screen, yeah, he's gonna go sell out for it. But if it's a regular run game, he's not going to provide any run
if it's
support.
crack toss, it's adios.
Yeah.
I didn't watch DJ Turner, guys, so yeah.
So, but changes directions really well. His hips are really fluid and changing directions. Another thing with his feet, he puts them in the ground, able to turn on a dime. So great footwork. He plays off really well. He has a great bail, and like I said, his footwork was really well. DJ Turner is my CB4 right now. Gets ranked over Tyreek Stevenson by a little bit because of that 4.2 speed, which is ridiculous. Fastest guy in the draft. So DJ Turner here to Seattle at 37.
38 Raiders are on the clock, and we're going to go for the pronunciation here. I think I can pull this off. Adetomiwa Adewale from Northwestern.
Not bad.
That was, that's probably not how you say it, but I think that's as close as anyone is going to get. But the edge/D tackle from Northwestern, because the role that I see for him in the NFL is it's kind of like what I just talked about with Mozzie Smith, but further outside. Go play base end for 2 plays, then third down, put this guy inside where he's an absolute monster. He's 6'2", 282. You guys probably know his name because he ran a 4.49 at the 40-yard or on the 40. This guy is an insane athlete. You should not be able to do that. It's absolutely insane.
It's a lot of meat running.
Yeah. So he sets a really good edge against the run. He's got a ton of power. He's got violent hands. He has an awesome swim and rip. He can stack and shed against the run. He disengages from blocks quickly. I did not realize how good of a run defender he was going to be. You watched the second game with me, Joe?
Yeah.
He's lights out against the run. I would put him up there as one of the best just run defenders, period.
Really
in the class.
good.
Probably top 5.
Really good inside counter move from what I saw. Get from that edge, sees a run. He's able to get inside very well.
For sure.
It's one of the main things that stuck out to me.
Yeah. He batted away hands really well, just like Joe was talking about with BJ Ojulari. You can put him at 5-tech if you want as well. He did absolutely nothing as a pass rusher when he was double teamed. He's more of a run defender than a pass rusher to me, and the guy he's most Keon White is who you guys saw go in the first round. And him are decently close, but I just think Keon White is a more polished pass rusher, even though he's not as good of an athlete, but he's still a very good athlete. Adewale, the only issues I have is he really only has a swim and a club and a bull rush, but bull rush is just you run straight, everyone has that. Keon White's got a bull rush on him,
the single greatest bull rush rep I've ever seen.
Oh my god. Actually, I have a guy in this draft that is going to rival that bull rush rep, and we'll get to him later. Because holy shit, was that a good bull rush on that play. But yeah, he's only got a couple moves, but freak athlete who's a great run defender who you have to teach a couple moves sounds eerily similar to Trayvon Walker to me. Mm-hmm. So and you get a lot better value here. And we love Trayvon Walker, but yeah, I mean,
Loved him.
from that description, I mean, I like that description. I don't know. I mean, I bet Joe likes that description.
6'2", 282, runs a
4.49. Yeah, exactly.
It's a pretty good.
Who's a great run defender right now. You just got to teach him a couple moves with his hands. I mean, I like the sound of that, and I think the Raiders do too.
At pick 39, for the Carolina Panthers, I'm going to make a lot of people mad here. I know I am.
Oh, yeah.
But that's my personal opinion. I had him in the first round a couple mocks ago. I'm taking Parker Washington out of Penn State. Listen, he's a good run blocker to start off, so you know he's a dog.
Ready.
He's great at short route running, very shifty, good size, and he does have that breakaway speed. Unlike a player you might think should go here, Jordan Addison, who does not have that breakaway speed, and we saw that in the 40-yard dash.
I thought he did, but the 40 showed that I was not correct.
Breaks tackles, he has great balance, amazing catch radius. I mean, he'll catch the ball high, he'll catch the ball low, he'll bring the ball in from out of bounds. Stretches out for balls, great on-screen passes. He is a slot receiver, but if you're taking Jordan Addison here, you're getting a slot receiver as well. But he has the size of a X receiver. He's just works better in short to intermediate routes. Very shifty after the catch. He's great after the catch. Can make jump ball catches. He can legit go up and moss kids. So, great there. He's just better short intermediate routes. Parker Washington was overshadowed by Jahan Dotson, but he put in work this year, had a really good year. And he's been, right there with my wide receiver 5, kind of right on that border of wide receiver 5 or 6. And here he's going at wide receiver 5 for me. Parker Washington to the Carolina Panthers gets Bryce Young a target to throw to.
Saints at 40. I'm going to go with Gervon Dexter here. The Falcons and Panthers signed their literal entire interior D-line.
Atlanta having a hell of an offseason.
Yeah, they're having a great offseason, but they lost some pieces, and Davenport went to the Vikings. And Peyton Turner is a certified bust.
Mm-hmm.
So
was it 2021?
Yeah. He was a reach then too. I mean,
yeah, he was.
That was a very Saints pick though, because they love their long arm edge rushers, which is how you know that this is what we would do, because Joe took Nolan Smith, who isn't exactly a long arm edge rusher. But yeah, I'm gonna take Dexter here. He's 6'6", 315. This is a big boy. He's another nose tackle.
It's another lot of meat on the bone.
Yeah,
there.
All right. Everything I said about Mozzie Smith, and just make him a little bit worse at all of it, and that's Gervon Dexter. He's also an insane athlete. He's not as big. He's not as good against the run, but he's still really good against the run. He can stack and shed. He can anchor, your classic nose tackle stuff. He benches 425, so as you would imagine, this dude's tough to move.
Another guy who I'm pretty sure was on that freaks list.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, like I said, he can anchor. His pass rush is kind of inconsistent, but he uses his hands well. And
the fact that you even get pass rush from that type of guy is really
they're
good.
They're fucking athletes,
yeah.
Dude, I mean, these guys are crazy athletes, and that's why that you can get pass rush, because they got twitch. They can rush the passer, so it's the same thing. Nose for 2 downs, 3 tech on 3rd down, and you just have him go crush the pocket, and he can do that. I mean, he doesn't have the most moves. All he's got is a rip and a swim, but from my nose tackle, if he can get pressure, that's a win. And he can shut down the run. He's a great run defender, and he can add some pass rush value for you. And because he's so athletic, you teach this dude more moves, and you might have a really good pass rusher. So I think it's a good pick. I'm a big nose tackle guy, clearly, with the last couple picks, but I just think they're really good players. And it's kind of impossible to miss on a nose tackle.
Okay, so the Titans are on the clock here at 41, and you took C.J. Stroud earlier.
Joe's boy.
My, dreamy husband. Nah, he's my wife, but I'm O.J. Simpson. So, I know a lot of you are going to be mad here, but I'm taking A.T. Perry out of Wake Forest, 6'5", 205.
This is my boy, guys.
He's Quentin Johnston, if Quentin Johnston, wanted to catch the ball.
All right, this is what the people that don't watch film think that Quentin Johnston is.
Yes.
Is what A.T. Perry actually
Crazy long arms and catch radius. He's very polished route runner. He's very smart. Great hands and can legitimately separate. You have these guys like Rashee Rice who really can't legitimately separate. Really good at contested catches and high pointing the ball. Is also pretty fast. 4.47, which was faster than what's the main receiver I'm thinking of?
Jordan Addison.
Which was faster than Jordan Addison, faster than Quentin Johnston.
Yes.
His pro day 40. So
he's a very nuanced and good route runner, and you can tell.
He can beat press really well, make smaller, move smaller than he is. So that means if you've been coached or played football, they'll always bring up like the EA Sports in the circle of your Madden players where all your movements should be in. He keeps his hands and feet inside that small area to where he can control and get it open on a slant. Can run block decently, and he's super physical on jump balls. So A.T. Perry, I think, is just a good. He's kind of like A.J. Brown in a sense, with the big body, go up and get it, and he's pretty quick.
Yeah, I see like a worse A.J. Green.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
But listen, A.T. Perry, he's going to work out, and he's going to be
I guess a worse A.J. Green is just Devontae Parker, now that I thought about that.
He's just going to be, he's going to be year 2. You got to rebuild that wide receiver core. Burks had flashes last year. And A.T. Perry hopefully can provide more height to that wide receiver core. So A.T. Perry here goes to Tennessee.
All right, Jets at 42. I'm taking a player who I really like for them, which kind of sucks. But I'm taking Jartavius Martin from Illinois, who is a safety / slot corner / also outside corner. He like when you write positions, you just put DB next to this guy because he can literally do everything. He's 6 foot 195. He plays a really good deep safety and slot. I don't know if I would necessarily put him outside just because he's small, but in college they could get away with it. He's super fast and fluid. He breaks on the ball really well. His ball skills were nuts. He had an interception where he turned around literally at the last second and the ball was just like at his hands and he held on to it. That was a super impressive play. He can legitimately press. He's an awesome tackler. Did get absolutely cooked on a double move, but it happens.
It happens to the best of us.
Yeah. He plays hip to hip consistently. He looks really good in man or zone. He's just an awesome deep safety who you can also stick at slot and can cover really well. And he's pretty good in run support, which, especially if you're going to play him at slot corner, run support is very important. And he can do that. And he's a super versatile DB who can do a lot of stuff for a defense. And he's really good at all of it. So, to me, Jartavius Martin... Oh, and he also runs 4.46.
Pretty good.
Pretty good 40 times. So, he's just a really good athlete. He's a good player. And he can do a lot of different stuff for your defense. And I think Saleh would really love that.
Okay, next pick. Jets are right back on the clock. I'm going to be dead serious. I was really thinking about taking Hendon Hooker here.
Can confirm.
I was really thinking about it because that Aaron Rodgers deal has been
oh, buddy, it is not
confirmed
happening.
For the last month and a half.
Yeah.
So better pick it up here, guys, before the draft picks that you're thinking about trading over are already used.
Yes.
So, but here you just got a really good safety. I'm pretty sure C.J. Mosley's still on the roster.
He is. He had a great year, dude. He made the Pro Bowl. He's very good.
I was just making sure.
And then they have Quincy Williams, too. So but they can use another.
I'm getting a guy who's literally just... here's the thing about this linebacker class is...
No one knows how to play football.
No one knows how to play football
except Jack Campbell.
Except Jack Campbell.
And Deion Henley. He knows how to play football.
Who we're taking here. Listen, Jack Campbell is the only one that knows how to play linebacker. And not, like, Drew Sanders.
Deion Henley, I know you didn't watch him, but he knows how to play linebacker.
Drew Sanders, like a lot of people are saying, like,
not
you
really.
could definitely tell he played edge in high school.
And college.
He
transferred from Bama, where he was an edge rusher.
So, yeah, Jack Campbell, 6'5", 250, really good athlete, super explosive in quick and short areas. He's physical at the point of the attack. He does whiff a couple tackles, but that can be cleaned up. It's not a huge worry. Just learn, get your feet in place.
Gotta wrap and drive the hips,
Very solid in coverage. He's a super smart player. Only linebacker that understands the position other than Henley. Uses his hands to disengage from blocks. Has great play recognition, which I think is one of the most important parts of really any
For sure,
football player,
especially linebacker.
especially linebacker, considering you're the quarterback of the defense. It's that's a lot going from, hey, I know they're running 42, let's just say ISO 42 to ISO 46. Going through the 6-hole and going through the 2-hole, two completely different things. So when you have a linebacker that can watch film, say, hey, they're going through the 2-hole and get to the 2-hole before that pulling guard comes and does. That's a big help on the defensive line. Goes sideline to sideline, lights dudes up, and is a secure tackler for the most part. Like I said, I didn't watch Henley, but I've heard really good things about him, so I would not be surprised if I were to watch him after this week and have him in this spot.
Let me jump in here because I did watch Henley. I'm not going to do, you'll see him later on, so I'm not going to do like a full thing, but just they're very different styles. Jack Campbell is your classic Mike who can take on blocks or who can take on guards. Not like Leo Chenal, because that dude blew up interior linemen. But
Leo Chenal, one of the best evals we've ever had on this channel, is being like, hey, he's a first-round pick to the Kansas City Chiefs. He got the team right.
I got the team right.
Just 3 rounds later.
Yeah, he went in the 4th. But he had a hell of a Super Bowl, and he's going to continue he's going to be a good linebacker for the Chiefs, I'm telling you. He already has been good when they actually put him on the field, and he's going to get even better, and he's going to be really good. The Chiefs just have Nick Bolton and Willie Gay, so he's stuck behind some really good backs, or linebackers. But Henley is your, run and chase scrape guy, and who's really fast and is a former DB who's nuts in coverage. And Jack Campbell's your classic, hit him in the mouth.
I play Southern Mississippi football, and I go and hit him in the mouth.
Guys, he's a linebacker from Iowa, okay? He's fundamental, and he's smart. No, he's not even white.
He's not white.
He's not even white.
No, I missed that part.
He's not even white, which is honestly even funnier when you see Jack Campbell and it's a black guy.
I watched him, too, and I just must have forgot. Guys, I've been on that NyQuil the last 4 nights for my illness that I have right now.
Oh boy.
I forgot a lot of stuff.
He's tripping.
I am tripping, as you can see.
Pick 44, Atlanta Falcons are on the clock. And I'm going to take John Michael Schmitz, the center from Minnesota here. Joe and I just tried to figure out who the Falcons center was.
We sat there for listen, we usually know starters.
I can name you most of the O-lines across the NFL.
So when you have
I think it's Matt Hennessy, but I'm not sure. And I don't think he's very good.
It's a problem when the first name that came to my mind was Alex Mack.
Yeah, retired 2 years ago and was on the Niners to end his career. John Michael Schmitz he's a big center, dude. 6'4", 320. This guy, one of the best players at the Senior Bowl also. I mean, Dawand Jones, we all know about him from the Senior Bowl, but Schmitz was up there with him there. He moves really well to the second level. He could play gap, too, because he's so big, but he's an outside zone center, which is exactly what the Falcons run. It's an Arthur Smith system. It comes from Tennessee. What does Derrick Henry do? He does outside zone. So that's what they run there. His snaps are consistently good. He moves really well to the second level. This is another guy that's just violent at the point of attack. You see a lot of pancakes with John Michael Schmitz. He keeps his feet moving at all times. He's got a really good anchor, which you want from your center, because interior pressure is the worst kind of pressure for a quarterback. He has really good feet. He communicates really well. Obviously, he's the leader of that offensive line as the center. And the only thing I saw that was a tiny bit of an issue is he's just pretty high in his stance, which, he's 6'4", and a lot of the D tackles he's going against are probably 6'1", 6'2". So you're going to get some natural leverage issues there because they're just lower to the ground than him. But as long as he can stay low and sink his feet, he'll be fine. And I think he's one of the most can't-miss players in the whole draft because, centers in general are tough to miss on. But
you get Creed Humphrey. I think this is a good, spot where they're compared. Don't ask me about
I don't think he's as good.
But this could be a Creed Humphrey pick where in the second round they get probably one of the top players in that whole draft, let's be honest.
Absolutely,
here. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's the best center.
I think
in the league
I
his
think
first year.
if you want to just not mess up your pick, I think he's right up there with BJ Ojulari in the second round
You just
for what
want-
we've
you
taken. If you just want to not mess up your
You
pick.
want to look back on it and be like, oh, we missed round 1, but hey, here's our 8-year starter
Yeah,
who's
that's
been
exactly.
very good for
So-
us. 8-year starter, like 3-time Pro Bowl.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a really good center and, protect Ritter, open holes for Tyler Algier, who is nasty. So, yeah.
At pick 45, you have the Packers on the clock. A lot of debating on what you should go here. We were looking at D-line. Not a lot of guys I'd take here. Looking at edge. Not really anybody I'd also take here.
We took all the edge rushers because they're all really good.
Looking all around, and I just had to go with receiver. Jordan Addison. Congrats, Packers fans. You're getting the wide receiver 7. 6 foot, 180. Listen, he does not have good speed whatsoever.
I thought he did on tape,
and
dude.
being
He
6
looks fast.
foot 180, and you run, what was it, a 5'5" or 4'5"?
4.54.
Yeah, that's
ass.
That's ass.
That's atrocious. A.T.
Uh,
Perry is like 210 and runs a 4.47.
And
so.
he's 6'5", so
No, that's what I'm saying.
yeah.
He has 30 pounds on him, and he runs faster.
He has very good hands, has different releases, which is good. Gets off the line very well. Gets involved in the run game on jet sweeps and, reverse tosses to the back. He's shifty in routes, and he's a good route runner. But other than that,
I'm just not excited
he's
about him
just
about anything.
mid.
Yeah.
He's just like, I saw him,
yeah.
I was like, I don't know.
I
Like,
was
honestly,
really impressed the first time I watched
Honestly,
him.
I could tell you right now that I think Xavier Hutchinson has a higher ceiling than Addison does, but hopefully Jordan Love will find a way to make things work with Addison.
The Jordan connection.
Yeah, the Jordan to Jordan connection. But Addison, Packers fans who just go off name value, you're ecstatic that you got him here. But here, I'm just kind of saying like. You're getting like an okay receiver. Like he's definitely gonna, be that 3 in the offense behind Watson and Dobbs. So
that's all they need.
We'll
though,
see.
Too,
yeah.
So it's like.
I mean, yeah.
And he's definitely a slot only too. Yeah. I think I'm on camera saying I think he can play outside. I take that back if I said that because he can't.
But yeah, no, he's just the best thing I can say is like this is an okay pick. But receiver is kind of getting a little thin. Like, you missed out on probably A.T. Perry a little earlier, but, yeah.
I will say in the real draft, A.T. Perry probably will be on the board right now, so hopefully they could get him.
So, yeah, Jordan Addison, 45 to the Packers.
All right, 46, got our New England Patriots on the clock. About to have a hell of a draft right now.
We
got Christian Gonzalez in the first round, and it's not rigged, I promise. But
no, because guess what?
It's not rigged because I found out about the guy I'm going to take literally like 3 hours ago.
There you go.
I watched him. So, but I'm going to take someone out of Oklahoma, and no, it's not Anton Harrison. It's the right tackle. But he was actually the blind side because their quarterback is a lefty. So he was the blind side guy. But I'm taking Wanya Morris from Oklahoma. He's 6'6", 312. This guy's a ridiculous athlete. He's got 35-inch arms. Anyone that doesn't know, benchmark's 33. That's what you're looking for. He is well over. He moves really well, especially in space. He's super explosive. He is one of the best just like releases off the ball. He consistently gets off the snap, gets off the ball when it's snapped like more than anyone else in this class. Maybe he's up there for sure. In the 2 games I watched, there was like 10 pancakes. This dude is powerful in the run game. He's a really good athlete. I was told by the draft media that he was a raw pass protector and couldn't do it.
Guys.
No. If you guys remember, I've been talking about trap technique a lot with Dawad Jones and Darnell Wright. I saw him do it 5 times too. This guy's really good with his hands. He has good technique, and he's an amazing athlete. Amazing athlete plus good technique equals really good at football. So, he has great grip strength. He does play a little bit too high, but his punch is violent. I did see him miss his punch a couple times, but like, Paris Johnson misses his punch sometimes too, like it's not like this guy's raw, and that's y'all's tackle 1. So like,
it's the media, guys, break through the matrix.
So, but shit, I lost it. Hold on. But no, I don't even need the notes. We're good. But yeah, his anchor looks good. I mean, his technique I was super impressed by because I was told it wasn't good, and he's got good technique. I mean, yes, you can clean up his footwork maybe a little bit. I've seen some, or his handwork. I mean, not footwork. For anyone that doesn't know, ideally you go hands inside of the pads. I've seen him go outside like multiple times. So you got to clean that up. But if you clean up his hand placement, which all you got to do is tell him to not do that, and then he listens, and then you're good. But
unlike Trent Brown,
the Pats staff thinks Wanya Morris isn't. I think he can play immediately, honestly. But if they think they want to give him some time, you can, because you can get average play out of those guys.
Riley Reef, and who's the other one?
Calvin Anderson. Connor McDermott's in there as well.
Yeah, so he has I wouldn't say good mentors.
No, but I mean, Riley Reef was a good tackle at some point.
Yeah.
But at a point in his career, I could have taken him earlier. I saw an elite athlete who also has good technique, so I'm fine taking him here. And if the Pats miss out on tackle round 1, this is who I want.
Mm-hmm.
So.
At pick 47, you have the Washington Commanders, who I think we took Osiris Torrance earlier on.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but here you're getting a corner who a lot of people are really high on.
I've seen him go 16 to Washington
yes.
a lot, so if you love Deontay Banks like that much at 16, this is amazing
value. 6 foot, 197, very good in zone, gets his head turned around on the ball consistently and can find it well, breaks on the ball. He's, once again, I feel like in this draft, you either have a guy who is basically a safety in the run game,
just
or is a absolute pussy.
Yeah.
Like, there's no
We're going to get to another safety who I'm going to take tackle.
There's no in between with some of these guys.
I would say Christian Gonzalez is the only one that's in between.
Yeah.
Because he's not good at run defense, but I can tell that he's trying.
But, I've seen, other than Gonzalez, I've either been like, oh, he is a pussy, and he's not. He's going to be, 5 feet away from the run.
Do you remember anything about Joey Porter's run defense? Because I really don't. It was pretty forgettable.
Yeah.
I'm guessing he was trash then, because I couldn't really remember.
But, listen, he's very fast. I'm pretty sure he ran a 4.3-ish at the
Something
combine.
like that. He's at wheels.
Yeah, so he's really fast, and he also, 197, running a 4.3 is pretty good. That's a good time.
He has a good enough weight for a corner.
Yeah, it's not like Emmanuel Forbes running a 4.4, and he's 166. That's
we'll
ridiculous. But Banks, I feel like he is, in my opinion, overhyped. Yes, the speed is great, but from what I saw, he's just a good corner. I didn't see anything that was just like, whoa, this guy's unbelievable. Also, I think I didn't really see his speed really transfer onto the field.
I think he tested faster than he plays.
There's a difference between test speed and game speed, and his game speed I think is slower. I didn't see him need to catch up with a guy. I didn't see him,
That also means he just didn't get beat.
Yeah, I didn't see him run hip to hip with someone, but also he was good about getting his hands in and breaking a pass up. He
does have really good ball skills.
He probably could have had a couple picks if the ball was tipped the other way, but But Deontay Banks, I think, is just a good corner overall. Getting him here is a good pick for Washington, especially if some of you think he should go 16 to Washington.
Detroit Lions on the board. This is pick 48. And I forgot to put my Tyreek Stevenson. That's who I'm taking, Tyreek Stevenson. My notes are not here, so Joe's the Tyreek Stevenson fan, and he's going to tell you about him.
Okay. I did not realize I was going to be put on the spot. But let me tell you about Tyreek Stevenson here. Okay. So,
I don't know where my notes are, so it is what it is.
So, basically, Tyreek Stevenson showed really good catch-up speed. He was dominant at the Senior Bowl.
He's a big press corner also.
When I take Senior Bowl stuff now, at least, because they're basically, the one-on-ones are rigged for the receiver.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
you look like Tank Dell, and I watched him, and I was like, oh my god, the best short route running I've ever seen. Then you go into game, and it doesn't...
does not translate.
It doesn't translate. Although I think Tank Dell is a very good route runner, but Stevenson got beat once. Or I don't even think he got beat. He just got, mossed, basically. He was there the whole time, great coverage. So I'll give him props there for, I think, only allowing one catch in his one-on-ones.
He allowed a touchdown, but it was
the
a
one
ridiculous catch. Yeah.
So, he did very well for a drill that's receiver...
rigged for
rigged.
receivers.
Yeah, rigged for receivers. The games I watched, I think the best thing he had about him was one arm press, which he was just basically you're up and you hit to the other side and you keep him there, track him. I think he's the best at that. Great in man. Zone, I think he was good in.
They played a lot of zone in the games I watched,
Yeah.
Miami, and I feel like he's more of a man guy, but he did hold up in zone. He got beat a couple times pretty bad in the games that I watched, but
Like I said,
yeah.
we could watch 2 different games. Like I watched the games. He was good in man. I think his best games are in man coverage.
For sure, that's what he was.
And you need to fill a hole now,
too.
considering that Okuda's gone. Great trade from the Falcons. Stevenson will play great in man. I think he's good in zone. Another guy where I think he's pretty aggressive in the run game, but he's not going to be a safety run support. But if I remember right, he was pretty
He was pretty
active.
middle in the pack
Yeah.
for me. He's another one in the Christian Gonzalez tier where you can, like, he's not great, but, like, he gives effort and he does get after it.
Stevenson, I think, has some of the best catch-up speed in the draft. A lot like DJ Turner. He didn't run as fast as
No,
Turner
he
did.
ran like 4.5.
Yeah.
Which he's like 6'2", like 200
Yeah.
something. So that's a good time.
So he had very good catch-up speed. Footwork was great. Overall, I think Stevenson's a very good prospect. I think he's my corner 6 or 7, but this is a deep corner class. I really like
Isn't he
Stevenson.
I thought he was like your 5.
5, wherever we have right now. I forget where we took. Too many Pepsis down the hatchet.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
forgetting a lot of
struggling.
things. I really want to beat my kids right now.
He's
put it
literally
that
your
way.
5.
So, Steelers, you've had a great draft overall.
Yeah, I mean,
Darnell Wright and then Joey Porter Jr.
for people that hate the Steelers,
We're giving you a good draft. We gave you a good draft last. We gave you Jermaine Johnson,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, last year.
We're not biased over here.
We're
at
not
Third Take.
biased. Except for the Jets. I've tried to screw you guys. Listen, when Anthony Richardson was, when everybody had the right opinion on him in being a boomer bust quarterback and being like, oh, I don't know, and then, shows up at the comment, I was really considering screwing you guys over and taking another Zach Wilson. But, I held myself back from taking
Just
Hendon
like
Hooker
taking
this
Henry.
time.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah.
So, but-
you haven't screwed them. You just
Yeah.
really want to. You just didn't.
really
yeah.
want to. I just have, because I
We're
value
respectable
we're
draft analysts over
But
here.
Steelers here, you got corner and you got tackle, and I'm taking linebacker. I'm taking Henley here, and Martin's the expert on him, so I'm going to put you on the spot, and you
alright,
can go
sounds good.
look at him.
So, Deion Henley.
Yeah, fuck
no,
you. Yeah.
I don't need. Fuck the notes.
Clamps.
Alright. So,
Clamps.
Deion Henley, I talked about him earlier with Jack Campbell, but he's a run and chase, scrape type of guy. He's a former DB. I'm pretty sure he played receiver in high school as well. So as you would imagine, this guy's really athletic. He's super fluid in coverage. Because he played DB, this dude can turn and run on slot receivers. He's legit in coverage. I mean, this is kind of what I hope Trenton Simpson would be. Because Deion Henley's a good athlete. He's also big. He's like 6 foot 230. So it's not like he's a small linebacker. He's super fluid. He's a secure tackler. He doesn't like light you up, but he'll get you on the ground, and he had some nice hits as well. But I really like Deion Henley. I personally like big linebackers, like a Jack Campbell more, but he also has really good play rec. I don't think it's as good as Jack Campbell's, but he's just a very solid linebacker to me. And if you want a run and chase cover guy, he's your guy, because they're both just different styles. But if you want a run and chase linebacker, I mean, Deion Henley's your guy, and I think this is a good pick for the Steelers because I think he can hopefully be what you wanted Devin Bush to be. All right, pick 50, Tampa Bay Bucks. I'm going to take a tackle, and it's not the one you're thinking of. I'm going to take Blake Freeland from BYU, a true grit master.
Cracker, whoa.
Yeah. You think he's married? He's definitely married.
Well,
from BYU, he's 100%.
He definitely got married in Vegas just so he could hit.
No, but the point is, like, you can't as a Mormon.
That's the point. That's
Oh,
what I'm saying.
I see what you're. Oh, I see what you're saying. Sorry, guys, we're not. To any Mormons watching this video.
Fuck you. You guys are pussies.
So as far as Blake Freeland, he's 6'8", 312.
Guys, for future draft, if anybody's from BYU, this is exactly how it's gonna go.
Exactly. Dude, when him and Andre Carter went
Cracker
at the Senior Bowl, that was Who Loves America More. That was beautiful. But about Blake Freeland, the first thing is athleticism. This guy, like, legit.
Whoa, really? A white guy from BYU being athletic? I've never heard of that one.
Joe, when you saw the combine, combine-wise, he is the best offensive line athlete literally ever.
Nice.
So, that's yeah. So, he's got a very solid base. He has 34-inch arms, so he's looking good there. He's a pretty good run blocker. He lunges way too much when doing that, though. He moves very well in space, as you would imagine. He has good hand placement and footwork. Pretty fundamental, as you would imagine, from a BYU offensive lineman. He did miss his punch a couple times. His anchor looks good against bull rushes. The only thing is I've seen his feet stop moving a couple times, which I just think he's kind of worse technically than Wanya Morris is. They're both in the just like super good athlete tier, but Wanya Morris, like I said, was very good technically. I think Blake Freeland has some more stuff to clean up, but he's still pretty good technique-wise. When we go to developmental tackles later in the draft, Jalen Duncan will be the guy's technique that I really have an issue with. But he's a 4-year starter. He had 2 years of not even allowing a sack, including last year. He's a very good player with college production who's a good athlete. I think you could clean up his footwork a little bit, but he's just a really solid tackle to me. And because of that athleticism, you add like 10 pounds to this dude, and he could be a monster. So, I don't know.
All right, guys, Miami, here at 51. Listen, Dolphins, listen, Tyreek Hill, I know he's retiring. Guys, I am as sad
Joe's going to be hurt more than you. No, more than that.
I have his jersey. Oh, come on, you can see it. Yeah, I have his jersey, a Chiefs jersey. Guys, if you followed this channel for a while, there is a photo of me with a Kansas City Chiefs jersey and a Tampa Bay Buccaneers hat at one point.
The most bandwagon fit you could ever have.
Anyway, but, you know, you could be thinking of a receiver here. If A.T. Perry was here, I'd take him in a heartbeat.
Well, Tyreek's also said he's going to retire like 3 years down the line. You don't have to get a receiver right now.
Prepare for that because, you know, one of the greatest receivers of all time. You got to replace him, right? So, here, I'm taking Anton Harrison, the other Oklahoma tackle. He's fine in the run game. Kick slide, it's kind of, you know, weird. Sometimes he sets, other times it's a full drop. Anchor is solid. I think the thing with Harrison is he's just like a good plug him in,
solid,
and he's going to be solid.
He also lacks strength, which is something I think we mentioned in one of the last mocks. He's working on it. He's worked off in the, I was going to say. But that's one of my main notes about him is that, like, they said, hey, work on your strength. And he was in, like, the weight room all season working on his strength and stuff. So it shows he cares. Yeah, he does. He absolutely cares, but he still needs more strength, in my opinion. It's not wild or anything. His anchor is solid for the most part, but I've seen some reps where he gets bull rushed pretty badly. And bull rush is just, when you get bull rushed, you just got to anchor down, and that's where the weight comes in. Mm-hmm. There's a reason why Dawad Jones and Darnell Wright have the two best anchors. It's because they're 335 and 375.
Mm-hmm. So, like I said, he's not, like, the most impressive tackle. He's just a solid O-lineman. I think Dolphins will be very happy here with just solid O-line play.
Seahawks at pick 52. Gonna give you guys a guard here, help out your interior. I'm going with Steve Avila. I think he's like 38 on my board. This is pick 52 or I already forgot. 52.
50-ish.
52 or 53. I already forgot which. But Steve Avila is a very solid guard. He's 6'4", 330. He's a big boy. He was really good at the Senior Bowl. He's got a solid anchor. He's got good feet. He keeps his feet moving at all times, which I love to see. He's not very good in space, and he's not a great athlete. That's kind of why he's not up there with Torrance and some of these other dudes. But he's just a very good, solid guard who's good, who's technically sound, and Gino will not get hit that much with Steve Avila here because he's just good. I don't think he has, like, the highest ceiling out there. I don't think he's going to be like a Pro Bowler like Torrent. Maybe he'll make a couple, but I just think Steve Avila, and I just think good starter. This is another one where you can't really mess this up. So just take him, get a good guard. You need a guard, and just protect Geno and make sure that his one season of greatness continues.
All right, the Bears are up here, and earlier you took. I don't even know who you took earlier. I'm just gonna be flat honest.
No, they don't have a second.
Well, I know they don't have a second.
Miles Murphy.
Miles Murphy. Yeah, great pick. All right, you got rid of David Montgomery, right? So you're gonna need. You need Listen, Khalil Herbert isn't.
He's good.
He's good, but definitely you can upgrade him by a good amount here. I'm taking Tajay Spears, RB2 currently. Listen,
Tulane.
Yeah, from Tulane. I should have mentioned that. 5'10", 204, great weight for the size. Has great balance. Feet never stop. He fights for extra yards. Want to know who also does that? Bijan Robinson. I gotta mention him at least once every video.
In a world where Bijan does not exist,
he's RB1.
I mean, Tajay Spears is nuts. I mean, I'm sad that it wasn't my pick because I love this dude, but.
Gets into the second gear super quickly, has super explosive runs through arm tackles. You're going to need, good hip form tackles.
To bring,
drive through the bag,
exactly.
drive through the player to get the tackle. Really capable catcher, elusive in the open field. He's patient, cuts really well. He tore his ACL 3 years ago, so that's maybe a little bit of a concern.
That is literally the only concern. And I mean, 3 years off a torn ACL is kind of who cares for me. But.
So 6 yards to carry the past 2 years and 7 this year. That's nuts. I watched this guy in, I think it was the USC game, and he had a really, really good game.
He had 200 yards.
Yeah, so.
He had 8 straight 100-yard games, guys.
Yeah.
Tajay Spears is that dude.
Tajay Spears he's very, very good.
He can juke you out, he can run straight through you, and he can run right by you. He's got it all, and he can catch, and he's relatively good in pass protection.
Yeah, solid in pass pro. Like I said, he can run through you, reads his blocks, goes with patience. Overall, he's a great back, and I think he's better than Jahmyr Gibbs because
I think he's better than
I
think he's way better than this pick too. He just fell. I was looking at him every
it's running backs.
Oh, not a lot of teams needed a running back, so he dropped. But Tajay Spears I think he's 29 on my board. He's a first-round caliber player in my opinion.
Yeah.
He just fell because no one really needs a running back.
Yeah. But Bijan, though, still number one and always will be.
For sure.
Best player probably ever evaluated.
So, pick, I don't even know, Chargers.
55-ish.
54, I think it was. Chargers, I'm taking Jared Clark from Coastal Carolina. Nose tackle. He's 6'4", 334. This is a big boy. He's dominant against the run.
It's the third one, guys.
Yeah, there might be 4, so buckle up.
Get ready.
But he's a legit pass rusher too. That's why I'm taking him here. If he was just a nose tackle, he'd probably be like a 5th round pick. But he can legitimately rush the passer as well. And when I was talking about one of the best bull rushes I've seen from anyone in this class, this is the guy I was talking about. I'm not even kidding. It took him half a second to push the dude directly into the quarterback. It was crazy impressive. He's a pocket crusher. Like I said, bull rush is nuts. He doesn't actually have any pass rush moves. He just runs straight, but he can crush the pocket that way. That's why the other 2 nose tackles went ahead of him. But he anchors really well against double teams. He really doesn't use his hands that much. He kind of just stands there and anchors down. So he's not great technically, but he gets the job done just by standing there and anchoring. He's got a really good motor. He could be a 3-down player because he has the twitchiness and athleticism to rush the passer. You just got to teach him a couple moves because he really only has a swim. And even then, it's not that good. So teach him a couple moves, and maybe you can have a 3rd down player as well. But right now, he's just going to be a great nose tackle for your first 2 downs.
Detroit, you're back on the board, guys. And guess what? You're getting mini JSN here. Xavier Hutchinson. He's good in route running, finds the soft spots in zone, elite ball tracking, acrobatic catches out the ass. I mean, holy
He had a nuts one against Iowa when I was watching Van Ness.
He is a jump ball machine. I like to call him Mini JSN because he finds that soft spot in the defenses. He's just a good route runner, good hands, good everything. Best in short to intermediate routes. Great one-on-one guy. Like he could go up and get a ball, and he could also route you up. So great in one-on-one.
It sounds like you're describing just like a worse A.T. Perry.
Huge burst of speed. Good after the catch. Strong hands. He's shifty, hard to bring down, involved on screens. I like Xavier Hutchinson a lot. I think he's a good fit in the Dan Campbell offense. Right there behind. It's Amon-Ra. Jameson Williams. He's a good 3 there. I don't know if Chark's still there. I don't think he is.
He went somewhere else. I think he's in Carolina.
Hutchinson, though, good 3. Mini JSN. If you like JSN, you like Xavier Hutchinson.
Taking Luke Musgrave, tight end from Oregon State, 6'6", 250. Not really a good blocker, but I know you guys have Evan Ingram, but
He's a big slot.
Exactly. He's a big slot. Luke Musgrave's going to be your inline tight end. He's a fine run blocker. He mostly just gets in the way. I mean, like, it is what it is. He can get the job done, like, sometimes. Just don't ask him to, like, actually down block. Just have him, like, pick off a corner or something, or just seal, like, a linebacker. He's a pretty good route runner. He's got a good route tree. He has good hands. He wins well over the middle. He doesn't really do much after the catch, but to me, he's just going to be a really good safety valve for Trevor Lawrence, and you can use Evan Ingram as a big slot and not have to put him on the line, and you'll just put Luke Musgrave there, and he'll help out Trevor Lawrence.
He's going to be a lethal receiver.
And just ensure that your offense is still really good.
Ridley, Kirk, Evan Ingram, Travis Etienne.
Zay Jones,
yeah. All right,
you can do it.
Giants, 57 overall. Listen, I wanted to screw you guys over and take Jahmyr Gibbs because Saquon's holding out right now. I'm pretty sure he doesn't want to play on the franchise tag. But I'm going to give you a cornerback. Improve that secondary. Listen, Emmanuel Forbes, he has great speed, but also he's like 6'1", 166.
Literally weighs nothing.
He's light. He's 20 more pounds than me and is 1 inch taller than I am. So, yeah.
Wait, how tall is he?
6'1". That's supposed to be the good joke that I'm 6 foot.
Gotcha.
No, he's legitimately like 4 or 5 inches taller than I am. He does not know how to form tackle. That is an issue. Only hits with his shoulder. That's also an issue. I remember playing freshman year football.
You didn't have the coaches in high school?
I had freshman year football, and there's a kid who I was playing behind who tackled like Emmanuel Forbes. And I was so pissed off. I had flashbacks watching Emmanuel Forbes film. Doesn't run support unless he's put on a blitz, which he's put on a blitz a good amount. Gives up on plays. He does break passes up, and he's good in zone, and I would say he's better in man. Listen, I have a lot of problems with Emmanuel Forbes.
I would say do not ask him to press either, just give him the weight.
I just think he's good in man. He's good in, he's off 5 yards, man on man, good speed, good hips.
He does have, like, the record for pick sixes in college football.
So he has good ball skills.
Yes.
So, listen, I do have problems with Emmanuel Forbes, but overall, I think the Giants really need anything here at cornerback, anything to stick. We already took Downs earlier. So, try to keep that in mind with, some of these picks that, we already did a whole mock beforehand. But
yeah, if you're sitting here yelling at us for not drafting a receiver, we already did that.
Pick one. Don't worry, guys. Believe us. Believe me. It was hard enough to remember some of these picks. But, Emmanuel Forbes, just put him in man. Don't ask him to do anything else. Maybe put him on a blitz or two. You'll be fine. Emmanuel Forbes, the Giants.
58, Dallas on the clock. And I'm going to take a corner here. I'm going to take Julius Brents from Kansas State. Maybe the most egregious holder I think I've ever seen penalty-wise. Nice. Quentin Johnson, I think he drew 3 in, the first half.
There you go. Being physical.
He's super physical. He's very handsy as well. You got to cut down on those penalties. He also got absolutely cooked by Quentin Johnston twice, which I'm not a huge Quentin Johnston fan, so you don't love to see that. But he balled out in that same game. He had his own moments, which you love to see that mentality, the bounce back, next play from a corner. That's what you want.
This too shall pass.
Sounds good. So he has elite play recognition. He had 3 PBUs in that same game against TCU. He's a really good tackler. He's super aggressive. He's in he's not as good, but he's in the Devon Witherspoon tier of I am gonna beat the fuck out of you when I'm tackling. And he also beats the hell out of people at the line when he's pressing. That's what he's good at.
Say like he had off the field issues.
Oh.
He beats the shit out of
No.
or something.
Yikes. Oh, I forgot to mention he's 6'4", 200, so he's a big corner.
That's probably a good thing to mention.
He's a big corner. He drives on the ball really well. He doesn't play much zone, and he does a really good job of feeling leverage for when routes are breaking. Julius Brents, you clean up the penalties. He's a great corner. It's just if you're getting called for penalties in college where it's a lot more physical, he's going to get a lot of flags in the NFL. Mm-hmm. He's not a dirty player. We're not talking about Trevor Penning here. It's just he's really aggressive.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Buffalo here on the clock. I think you got a lot of secondary issues. One guy died, the other 2 injured and old, so I think you upgrade the secondary. You're going to take cornerback Kelee Ringo here. For the longest time, he was corner 1, and I never got the reason why.
He's like CB9 now.
And then finally, they just had a come-to-Jesus moment where everybody at the same time awakened and were like, we really can't keep saying that, can we? Yeah, no.
Can't keep up the preseason rankings anymore.
Yeah, no, listen. He was really good in the Ohio State game. I think it was Ohio State.
No, he got cooked.
He was in one of the playoff games he played in. He was really good, and he shut someone down.
Okay.
I think it might have been one of the games.
Oh,
I was like,
in one of the games, TCU. Johnston did nothing.
In one of the games, I was like, yeah, I can see why you guys had him corner 1. Long physical press man corner. Seems good in zone, but he's clamping a man most of the time. Bails nearly every play, helps out in the run game. He's capable of tackling, which is always, you like to see that. Great burst. I can't say
He's
that.
He's a nuts athlete.
I can't say this without laughing. You said comes fast on balls. I can't.
Did I really write that?
I can't say that with a straight face.
That's funny as shit.
I can't say that with a straight face.
That's funny.
Has okay ball skills. Got cooked by Ohio State. He's you want him to be better disciplined in coverage.
He bites a lot on double moves.
Yeah, he has good reps where he looks like CB1, but then he has bad ones where he looks like, CB10. But he gets beat over the top really consistently, so he's just really raw corner. And I think he's developmental. He's like Gregory Rousseau a couple years ago, where he's
Bills took him
you gotta learn the position, buddy. Yeah, you gotta learn not to bite on a double move, because then they're gonna throw it over your head. But overall, Kelee Ringo here, I think he's a good pick, right around where he should be taken. And overall, good pick for the Bills.
Pick 60, Bengals on the clock. You got Broderick Jones, round 1. I'm going to take Cody Moak here to play guard for you. We're just going to keep building up this O-line, and hopefully Burrow eventually doesn't die. Mm-hmm. He's 6'6", 303, very good Senior Bowl. He played center, guard, and tackle. So even if he doesn't end up starting, he's a very valuable swing. Ideally, that wouldn't be your second-round pick, but the Bengals have such a good roster that you're kind of okay with that. If that's that ends up being the situation. He's super aggressive. He's got quick feet. He's tough and he's physical. He's really quick, so he does a great job of cutting off linebackers and sealing D linemen. He's got to go his hands inside the shoulder pads. He's another dude that really goes outside pretty much every play, which you don't want. He also needs to get stronger in his anchor. He just needs to put on some more weight. And the main thing with Cody Moak is that he has 31-inch arms. For tackle, you're looking for 33. He even has small arms for a guard. So getting just he's never going to have a reach advantage, which is why it's important that his feet are quick and he needs to put on weight to anchor, because since he doesn't have long arms, dudes are going to get into his chest and he needs to anchor down to not allow interior pressure. So there's going to be some development you got to do, even though he is, for the most part, technically sound. But I think he's a good player. I just think because of the arm length, he has to be a guard, and even then, they're going to get into his chest, like I said, and he could have issues with that. So that's why he's an end of the second and not early second.
Yeah. Chicago Bears are on the clock. And I'm going to just leave the camera for this segment. And just going to let Martin explain to you why Peter Skoronski is worse than Hitler. That's the pick. Peter Skoronski to the Bears. I'm leaving now. I'm just going to sit and watch over there.
You didn't even fucking scroll down. You didn't even scroll down to my notes on him. All right, so I got a lot to say about Peter Skoronski, obviously, but I just want to start off with the I think he's actually been stereotyped. Like, I'm not even kidding. I think there's a little bit of racism against Peter Skoronski because everyone saw a white tackle and was like, yeah, he's technically sound, and he's just not. Like, he's got no power. The weight is an issue, and he's got super small arms. I think they're under 33, which is the benchmark, and that's a bit of an issue. But he's got small arms. He just has no power. His anchor sucks. He holds a ton. I saw him commit at least 5 penalties in the Penn State game. So he's not technically sound. He's pretty athletic, and he does move dudes in the run game. He's a very good run blocker. He struggles to mirror pass rushers on the outside. His hands aren't good in pass pro. They get batted away. He's a big-time lunger. He does take very good angles when run blocking, but as far as a pass protector, his anchor sucks. He's not big enough. He's listed at 315. I would guess he's more like 295. I don't even think he's 300. He just needs to put on weight. He needs to work on his hands. He's got to mirror better. There's so many technical issues that I have with Peter Skoronski, and everyone just praises him for being super technically sound, and I can't get behind it. I don't see it. He's just not sound, and I don't see it. I'm not even joking, guys. I've watched like 6 Peter Skoronski games because I was hoping I would see it eventually. The best game by far was the Nebraska game, and even it's Nebraska, and dudes were still getting into his chest, and he still had... Like, what Peter Skoronski will do is he'll have a rep, and he'll use his hands really well, but he'll still get pushed back into the quarterback's lap because he's small, and they have their hands on him first. They get into his chest, and they drive him back. It happens consistently, and I'm not taking him anywhere close to where everyone else wants to take him. Eagles here at pick 62. And I'm going to get you guys just a really, really good player, or really good football player. I'm taking Sidney Brown from Illinois. You guys could use some help at safety. The Eagles just have a really good roster all around. But he's 6 foot, 205. He's really athletic. I forget how many reps on the bench he did, but Sidney Brown is strong. It was like 20-something. He's very solid in coverage. He's got good speed. He's very versatile. That's the best thing about him. He can play a deep safety. He can play in the box. He played in the slot, too, when Jartavius Martin was playing outside. That whole Illinois secondary is getting drafted. I mean, just draft their secondary and you'll probably be fine.
It's like the 2021 Georgia defense back, basically.
Yeah, it's just the secondary, though.
Just the secondary.
Yeah, the rest of the defenses. But he flies around the field. According to the dudes there, he was the leader of that defense. He's good in run support. He's a secure tackler. He breaks well on the ball. And he can also blitz off the edge pretty well. He's a very versatile player. He's just a do-it-all safety. And end of the second round, getting a do-it-all safety who's just a really good player sounds like a great pick to me. And that's why I'm going Sidney Brown.
Okay, guys. With the last pick in our draft season, we made it. Last pick, guys, we've basically done 4 mocks. We did the first one, we did the speed one, we did our second one,
I think
and
there
now
was
this is
another
our
one
2.
in there too. Didn't we have 3? I don't know. Maybe this is the third one.
So this is our third full one, first, and then we had 1 speed one.
Yeah.
Guys, it's been a hell of a ride.
Appreciate the support on the mock drafts too, man. It's been good.
Hopefully we'll be live streaming the
draft.
It's
like 230 plus on all of
draft,
them. So.
Hopefully live streamed. Hopefully.
Wait,
at one point, there will be it.
There will be a live stream for the first round. Joe has a baseball game, So there will be a live stream for the first round. It might just start a little bit late, but Friday night, guaranteed draft stream for day 2 and rounds 2 and 3. And
yes.
We just talked about round 2. There's a lot of guys that I have watched film on that will go in round 3, and same with Joe. There's also guys that we didn't watch film on, but we saw at the Senior Bowl or Shrine Bowl or whatever. So we will have some form of coverage for
basically
most of the guys. There's going to be somebody that I've never heard of in my entire life.
Yeah.
But for pretty much everybody, if you guys know who they are, we've watched film on them. If you don't, we maybe still watch film on them. And
or at least have watched
we,
some sort of...
We've seen them play
yes.
at some form, hopefully. There's probably going to be a couple guys where we're going to be like, guys, I got nothing, I'm going to be honest. But if we know it, we'll share it with you. And just come through for both.
Last pick, Kansas City. Need receiver. I'm taking Tennessee's Jalen Hyatt. Very fast, runs 2 routes.